Welcome back. This is the 1,000-mile review of the 2022 Mustang GT. So the car just turned 1,000 miles a couple days ago. I've been driving it for about 3 months now. Loving it more and more every day. For those of you who don't know, this car was ordered back at the end of last year, and it came in February. I picked it up. And I've been on and off driving it. I'm in New England, so the weather's been, just starting to turn now, and finally got some miles on her, so she's doing well. I wanted to give you my overview and my impression of the vehicle as it stands at 1,000 miles. I know there are many of you who get the car, take it out, and run it hard, and I decided to follow the break-in procedure. I wouldn't say I followed it to a T, but I followed it pretty well. So for the first 500 miles or so, I laid low on it. Didn't really get the RPMs too high, and then once we got closer to 1,000 miles, I steadily increased the power, and while at the same time, changing the RPMs and driving at different speeds. I know they say not to keep it at the same speed, so varying it. So that was part of my break-in process. I have noticed a few changes in the 1,000 miles, which I want to review with you. Some of those changes are actually all positive. The biggest one I have to say is the exhaust note. So I do have the active exhaust. I do have the 301A package. The 301A package does have the cloth seats. It does have the infotainment center, and then of course I have the toggle switches down below. So the biggest features, the active exhaust was an upgrade. I did get that because I wanted the ability to change my exhaust note. I do live in a community, and I do have a garage, so when I start this up, whether it's late at night or early in the morning, I want to be able to tone it down if necessary. But anyway, back to the exhaust. 1,000 miles, I noticed little by little over the last few hundred miles, I've noticed it's actually got deeper. I don't know if any of you have experienced that. The note's gotten deeper. It sounds like it's even a little bit louder at times than I did when I first pulled it off the showroom. That's been a pleasant surprise, since the tone of the exhaust is certainly more aggressive now, I would say. Some other things over the last 1,000 miles, I've finally figured out how to fully get the wheel and seats adjusted to exactly how I like it. This car, for those of you who don't know, does have power seats. However, the incline and decline of the seat is manually adjustable, and it does take some getting used to find the right position. The wheel height here, as you can see, is pretty low, and I have it telescoped all the way out, about 6 feet tall, and the best position I've found is to have the wheel kind of all the way pulled towards me and lower, and the seat in a mostly upright position. I don't typically drive that way in my daily driver, but for this vehicle I found that after several hundred miles driving, I found the most comfortable position, and it does sit not super high, but more high than some other cars. I have owned the Camaro, which sits very low to the ground. I know people say that the Dodge Challenger sits a little bit higher. I think this might be somewhere in between the two, although I still feel like it's a little high up. So I do have the seat mostly lowered, but not all the way to the ground. Some other things, now that I've had it for 1,000 miles, I could speak a little bit more on how I feel like it's driving. Performance-wise, I feel like it's everything I've anticipated it to be and everything I expected it to be. I'd even say it's exceeded my expectations some. For those of you who are contemplating buying this car, I do have the 5.0. It is Very powerful, not overwhelmingly powerful, but I will tell you that getting used to its limits takes some getting used to. With the drive-in modes that this 301A package does come with, you do get a sport mode, a normal mode, an all-weather mode, and then a track mode. So I haven't really used it in track mode yet, but I have played in sport mode in the last 100 or 200 miles, and that's certainly something you want to get used to before you drive hard in it. The power changes drastically when you put it in sport mode. It's significantly more robust. It pulls harder, it holds RPMs longer, and downshifts are a little bit more prolonged. So those are the things I would say are very different about sport mode. And again, in the last 1,000 miles, I've had the opportunity to play with it a little bit. Most of my driving has been in normal mode, and with the wheel in normal position. So there's a comfort mode, a normal mode, and a sport mode. Sport mode for the wheel tightens it up pretty firm, but not too firm. Normal mode is kind of in the middle, and comfort is significantly more play in the wheel, and it's also the easiest to turn because it's designed for comfort. So 1,000 miles in this car has been super enjoyable. I will also tell you that the first wash on this car was a pretty significant one. I have hand washed it once really well. Another time I sprayed it down when I first got it. It does collect bugs. The front of the car, it seems to be a magnet for everything. Literally, you take it out for an hour and you bring it back and it's covered in gnats and bugs and road debris. So I've had to wipe it down several times and clean it, pretty much after every use, which is, part of maintenance. And also I just think it's the nature of the car. It's a lower car, and it tends to collect a lot of road debris. Brake dust hasn't been too bad. I've noticed mild brake dust, nothing too crazy on the fronts. Fronts do have the bigger discs, and I've heard that it could get heavy at times, but I haven't really done much heavy braking, so nothing too significant there. What are you guys interested in knowing about? So 1,000 miles in on this car. It's been an enjoyable ride. I plan on using it more often, taking it out more, and giving you guys a better feel of things as time moves on. I do have a couple of small mods planned. I know a while back I had done a video on changing the shifter right here, and most of YouTube voted to go with, and social media in general have voted to go with a red ball shifter. So over the next month or so, I'm going to be doing a video on that and installing that with you guys, just to perk up the interior a little bit. It is black and silver all over. I want to take a quick peek. It is very nice, very well designed, but just to break it up a little bit, I thought I would do a red ball shifter just because it goes with the exterior paint color too, and make it pop a little bit more on the inside. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, 1,000 miles in on this car, loving it, enjoying it. What questions do you have for me? Post below what your experience has been in the first 1,000 miles of break-in with your car. Have you noticed any major changes? Have you noticed the ride quality change over the last 1,000 miles? Has it gotten softer? Has it, just drove any differently than you had originally thought it would? As I said, I think it's gotten only better. From people I know and people I follow, as the car even gets into the thousands, it just continues to drive and perform as good as it was new, from what I hear. So I hope I have that same experience. This car is amazing. I intend on keeping it and holding it, and hopefully doing some small modifications along the way. So hope everyone's doing well. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. I do have another video coming shortly, so stay tuned for that. And in a video or two down the line, I will also have a collaboration video. I know I had mentioned that as well in a previous video, but that will be coming up with another Mustang owner. So stay tuned for that, and hope you're all having a great day. Please remember to, again, like, subscribe, and comment below on what your thoughts are on your break-in on your car. All right, have a great day, everyone. See ya.